to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station. You're now listening to On One Radio, the talk show podcast station, bringing you the realest entertainment information, music, lifestyle, and truth and comedy shows around. This is Let's Talk. I don't count likes, calories, or blessings. I don't dine with snakes or bite my tongue. It is what it is. I am what I am. I am your host, Tony Williams. Welcome to all my new listeners and all of my day ones. Welcome to the last part of the family series. If you've been listening to part 1 and part 2, this is part 3. Blended family and the advantages and disadvantages. Now, to get to that point, we started with part 1, which was a family structure. Now, individuals within the family have both instrumental and effective roles to fulfill. Each serves an important function in maintaining healthy family functioning. Instrumental roles are concerned with the provision of physical resources, i.e. food, clothing, shelter, decision making, and family management. Now, we also talked about the different family structures, and as we know, in time things change. So modern families might look differently from the traditional stereotype of two-parent households, as well as understanding the different complexities at play in varying family structures. And then we moved along to family health, which, family health is not just about making sure one another goes to the doctor, but making sure to take care of all the things that go with it, as well as why are family relationships important to health. And we found out it does have an effect. The effects can be good, the effects can be bad, but they are effects nonetheless, from parent care to health care to mental stability. Those in our family take care of one another out of love and affection. And it helps with growth and development, which includes healthy eating and all of those things. Now, with all that being said, that brings us to blended family advantages and disadvantages. Now, we know that with a blended family comes different habits, different attitudes. It's just everything is different because everybody is not identical. They're all individuals coming together as a collective. And sometimes there are advantages to that as well as disadvantages. So let's look at it. Now, first off, it's more members of the family. In a blended family that functions well, it said that children have more relatives to support, teach, and love them. Now, that's according to an excerpt from Homeschool Relations, working successfully with parents and families on the education.com website. Now, there are advantages to children that way. Because sometimes with children, and even with adults, you might not listen to one person versus listening to someone else. Both of them may be saying the same things, but for some reason, sometimes a person gets it or they don't get it. Or they learn better from this person. Or they trust this person more with what they're saying to them and the advice that they're giving. And so when you have life like that, you have more family members that you can, consult with, can get advice from. And each member is gifted in their own way. So, like I said, one can help you, maybe less or better than the next one. But nonetheless, it's more to love, more support, more caring. Now, that does also bring us, because not only with it can be a conflict due to differing viewpoints. Some might feel pulled in multiple directions, feel that she or he can never please anyone, or simply give up and become passive. So, I mean, there's a lot to go with that when the numbers grow. Now, which leads us to economic matters. Now, a majority of single-parent families are headed by females. Now, that's a statistic. You can, check around you and your surrounding area to see if that is, in fact, what the case is. But it's an interesting note. Now, it is not uncommon for the children to live in a more limited income situation than their dual parent counterparts. Now, when the mother remarries, economic conditions and standards of living can often improve, or in some cases, decrease. If the total family income increases, well, that's always great. Mom may have fewer economic worries and decreased stress, which allows her to spend more time focused on the children. However, when both parents bring children into a blended family, there may also be more need to share toys, clothes, or activities, which can create more conflict. Now, that's also apparent with a blended family because then now there are new roles. New roles are added. And as I stated before, it's differences in every individual, how they do things, how they react to things, so things change. And with a blended family, that's a big change. Now, a blended family may be more stable, secure, and loving, especially when children previously experienced domestic violence, neglect, or child abuse. And that goes for older adults as well. Now, family dynamics always change when a family blends, but it's doable. Now, when a step parent comes in to the home with the child previously shared with both biological parents, let's say, for example, it might seem to the child that the new parent is a guest in the home rather than a family member, or even being able to view them as, an authority figure. You may get comments such as, "You're not my mother, you're not my father, you're no kin to me, you're no blood," can arise when the step parent attempts to exert authority. So it's kind of a bit of a tug of war right there. But you can find a balance, and you can sit down and talk and come to an understanding, letting each person know that the love and affection, as well as the security, is going to be there. That no one is pretty much loved above anyone else. That it is equal. And things can kind of run smoother after that point. Because you say it and then you show it, it kind of eases the tension and decreases conflict. Which can also be helpful with learning to flex, because with, like I said, blended families, there's more to deal with. Now, in learning to flex, because of the changes inherent in successfully creating a blended family, both parents and children learn flexibility. Adults' attitudes and behavior have a significant impact on the success of the new family, and children can learn a great deal about compromise, negotiation, as well as conflict resolution. Children can develop coping skills. For example, as they learn to adapt to change, these skills can be beneficial throughout their lives. However, if blended family stresses are significant or major difficulties arise, parents should seek help from experts, such as pediatricians or counselors, to help everyone in the family make a good adjustment. It's being a little more open as well as, being flexible. It's a give and take situation. Either way it goes, someone is, giving a little or maybe need a little more. But either way it goes, it can balance out and be good. Now, one advantage of a big family is like if you're ever in trouble, you can have help from them. I mean, we get supported by them, and they can be our friends as well as family at the same time. It's more affection, it's more love. Now, family is considered as one of the most important units of society because it contributes to child rearing and your place in adulthood. Of course, also referred to as a nuclear family, it provides necessary forms of support that are significant to your emotional, mental, as well as physical well-being. Yes, it takes a little work, but it is doable. Now, I would like to take a minute and say kudos to all the blended families out there because there really are a lot of benefits. Financial, emotional, stability. If 4 different generations are living in one household, there is so much knowledge and learning going on in that household that it is unbelievable. But of course, we all know that education first starts at home. So when there's a big support system like that, people excel more, children excel more. And it can actually be less stress with more people having different roles. And it makes it easier because it's not just, everything is just on 2 people. It can be broken down and made light on everyone. And it can work. And I highly, for one, suggest that, especially in today's time because with the economic, crisis going on and everything, getting rid of several households just to focus on one household can have a better effect on your family's health as well as financial status. You can live a bit more comfortably, and you can pretty much kind of save more money like that as well. So, I mean, it's good for especially the older adults who can no longer live by themselves, or they just don't want to live by themselves anymore. You can keep an eye on them. The ones who are still up and bouncing around, grandparents, they can help with the children, and that can keep them young and moving and happy and healthy. It's joy all the way around. Just like in life, there are ups and downs, but if you work at it and work together, have family meetings, sit down and discuss roles if they need to be changed, make adjustments, as necessary. You know what's best for your family. And that's what you want to do. You want to give them what's best for them. Now, I will say, included into this blended family, that does not leave out mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, and in-laws. It does not leave them out. They kind of get forgotten about, but they can be good role players in the blended family, as long as there's an understanding. And with a blended family, you definitely have to make sure the ground rules are there, especially on set boundaries, so that way no one feels any certain type of way that will rock the boat, basically. But again, I say kudos to all the blended families out there. Much love and respect goes out to you. And if you have not liked, subscribed, or follow me, please do so. You can find us on Facebook. The On One's Day One's private Facebook group there. On One Radio has a page. Check out that page and follow it for all the new episodes that are coming out, for upcoming shows, all the information you want to get. We're also on YouTube. The name there is Tony on One, just like for Twitter, The name there is Tony on One. WordPress. We're out there, and all of these shows and episodes are found on most podcast sites, apps, and devices. So, whoever your podcast site or app provider is, you can find us there. This has been Let's Talk, and we have finished out our family series. Now, if you have any questions about any of the series, don't be afraid to give me feedback, comment, ask a question. You can email here at oneradiotalk@gmail.com. And I will get that email, and I will definitely respond as soon as possible. And if you would like to talk or anything, hit us up. Now, until the next series, have a great day. And take care of each other. Family is the most important thing, especially in today's time. Love them, cherish them, and show unconditional love. Forgive because people make mistakes, and move on and move forward so that we all can live a happier, healthy life. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my talk show. I wish you the best, and don't allow anyone to fuck up your vibes. I have been your host, Tony Williams.